With 2 game ones in the books, we go back and take a look at what happened and what we learned from the game ones and basically just go from there. We had 2 games yesterday. We had the Cleveland Indians against the New York Yankees in Cleveland, and we had the Boston Red Sox in Houston taking on the Astros. So we're going to tell you what happened in those 2 games, and I'm going to tell you what you should expect looking forward on. So let's get into the video.
I'm on a new level.
Alright, the first game we're going to go over here is we're going to go over the Houston Astros against the Boston Red Sox. And to me, this looked very clear from about the 3rd inning on. The Astros are just the better team. They are the better overall team. I thought going into the series that Chris Sale would get him a Game 1 win maybe, and maybe that would bring the series to be a little bit closer than what it actually was. But that did not happen, man. Chris Sale got absolutely destroyed. Obviously Altuve with the 3 home runs was huge. The dude's done it all year, man. I mean, what do you expect? He's done it all year, and he's the reason why the Astros are who they are. I mean, yeah, but Chris Hill definitely disappointing, man. I thought he wasn't going to go out like that, but he did, unfortunately. So, I mean, yeah, man. The Astros beat him in every aspect of the game, man. Home runs, hits, defensive plays. I mean, Reddick throwing Pedroia out at 3rd. They're the better defensive team. They have the better starting rotation. They have the better bullpen. They swing it better. They hit for more power. They run the bases better. I mean, they're just the overall better team than the Boston Red Sox. And it clearly showed here in Game 1. What can you expect from Game 2? I mean, it's tough, dude, because they got Dallas Keuchel going, who's arguably another ace, you know, and Boston's throwing Drew Pomeranz, you know. I mean, it really shows how bad the Red Sox starting rotation is, man. You got Drew Pomeranz starting Game 2 against arguably one of the best teams in the major leagues. I mean, it clearly shows, and I don't know who they're going to start for Game 3. I think they're going to throw Doug Fister or someone like that. I'm not even sure if he was in the major leagues in the beginning of the year. I mean, the Red Sox are not in a good position right here. I mean, take it for what it's worth. There's a lot of holes in the Red Sox game, and I think that's something they're going to have to address in the offseason, because I don't see them winning a game here. I see Houston winning tomorrow. They're not going to beat Keuchel. I mean, it's a fact. They're not going to beat Keuchel. As long as he does what he usually does, Game 2 is going to be in the books as well. Houston's going to be up 2-0 going to Boston. And I'm not sure who Houston's going to throw in Game 3. They haven't announced it yet. But I'm sure it doesn't matter if they go with Peacock or if they go with McCullers or somebody like that. I still see them winning Game 3 just because Boston's lack of rotation, man. And then not to mention their bullpen is not that great either. I thought their bullpen was a little bit better than what they are, but they're not. Boston's bullpen is not that much better. Granted, they have Kimbrel and Price, so you'll probably see tomorrow in Game 2. But yeah, Houston. Basically, moral of the story is Houston's the better baseball team, and they're going to move on. I'd be very surprised if Boston scratches a game out from Houston. And obviously, the player of the game goes to Altuve. I mean, 3 home runs, probably going to be the league MVP. Not much you can really say about that. And the second game of the doubleheader in the postseason of Game 1s was the New York Yankees going up against the Cleveland Indians. And this was kind of the same thing, man. I was kind of fooled into thinking that the Yankees would make this a close series because of how good their bullpen is with Betances and Chapman and Chad Green and Adam Warren and so on and so forth. But that also was not the case. Cleveland too, man. I mean, they're better than the Yankees at every aspect of the baseball, man. I mean, they hit better, they pitch it better, they have the better rotation, the better bullpen, they can run the bases, they play defense, and it clearly showed that the Yankees were unable to compete with Cleveland, man. I thought Sonny Gray pitched really well. I thought he did all right. He definitely got behind in a lot of counts, which favored the hitter. Obviously, Jay Bruce hit the 2-run dong that basically sealed the deal already at that point, man. I mean, like I said, if Cleveland's got a lead in the 6th inning or later, man, it's game over. I mean, there is no coming back. It's just the way it is. And I think they were down 4-0 after 6. And yeah, man, it's game over at that point. I mean, there was no way around it. I mean, Gary Sanchez definitely was a liability behind the plate yesterday. I mean, granted, Sonny Gray is not the easiest guy to catch, but at the same time, man, in the postseason, you can't give the Cleveland Indians, especially a team of that caliber, basically free bases. They basically, when J-Ram hit the single, they basically gave him third base, and Jay Bruce hits the sacrifice fly. He had 3 RBIs, but the key of the game was Trevor Bauer, man. I mean, that was incredible. I think he took a no-hitter into the 6th or something like that. And yeah, he dominated, man. That 12-6 curveball was filthy. And he also had that 2-seamer running in on the lefties, backdooring him. That was, or front dooring him, my bad, front door, 2-seam. And he basically turned it over the bullpen, and it was, like I said, it was game over, man. Throw Andrew Miller and Cody Allen in there. I would be very surprised as well if the Yankees win a game in this series. I mean, after watching yesterday, the game was over in the 3rd inning. And I can imagine the same thing's going to happen in game 2, especially with Kluber on the mound. Kluber's going to expose the righties. He's going to expose Judge. He's going to expose Gary Sanchez and all those other dudes. You basically have to hope that one of those lefties, can run into something or do something, because I don't see the Yankees scoring very many runs in game 2. And at that point, it's over, man, because, yeah, I mean, they could basically throw the dog hound in game 3 and the series is over. So, like I said, the Yankees, they got to take it for what it's worth, man. They've had a great season, and they've learned a lot, and they've matured a lot in this season. And they just have to get these guys some postseason experience, which obviously they lack of since they're so young. But it's not their time. It's just call it what it is. It's not their time. Just make sure that the guys take advantage of this moment, and hopefully going into next season they can learn from it and get better from it, because like I said, man, they're not ready. Cleveland, this is their moment. I think this is their time. I have them winning the World Series, and I thought this was going to be somewhat of a close series because of how good New York's bullpen is, but I mean, yeah, it's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. So surprisingly, I got 2 sweeps in the ALDS, man. I got Houston sweeping Boston now, and I got the Yankees getting swept by Cleveland now. So I mean, we'll see what happens. It's still early. You never know who I mean, they could pull a game out in game 2 and get lucky or something like that. But I do like my chances with both teams getting swept. So I mean, it is what it is. National League games start tomorrow as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Dodgers taking on the D-backs and the Cubs taking on the Nationals. So that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Click a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new, and we're out of here. Take care, guys.